What's up, everybody? It's your man Pots and Pans. Welcome back to another episode of Real Chef Tips. Today, I'm not wearing any pants. Like, for real. Not because I'm trying to make a statement or anything, but I just forgot. On today's episode of Real Chef Tips, I want to break down something that is very unique, something that has worked extremely well for me, some lessons that I've learned along the way during my career that you can not only apply in the kitchen, but to the rest of your life as well. Now, if you've ever made anything, you know that cooking is very rewarding. It's delicious, it can be very fun, but also that shit takes a long fucking time. Time is everything. It's our most valuable commodity. You know, in this world we live in today where, like, the internet, we have everything at our fingertips faster. We want it now. We all have multi-hyphenated careers. We're all juggling a million things at once. We do more and we consume more, and there's just not enough time to get everything done. Which brings us to today's Real Chef Tip. The first lesson for today, I learned all the way back in culinary school. Day one. I had a chef instructor, his name was Chef Scott. He was like this drill sergeant type of guy, you know, not like a dick or anything, super nice guy, but, you know, strict. He was like that fatherly drill sergeant, I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you wanna hear type of character. He also used to put Boursin cheese on literally everything, and that's really fucking dumb. But that's not the point. Chef Scott was full of wisdom and knowledge, but also catchphrases, and I still remember them to this day. One of them being, "The clock is the boss." He would say it every single day. He would go around, make his rounds, and see what we were doing, how we were progressing with time, and he'd be like, "The clock is the boss, the clock is the boss." And what he means by this is essentially keep an eye on your time. And not just like, you know, keep an eye on your time because you have something in the oven and you don't want it to burn. He wanted you to always be monitoring your time, auditing what you were doing, where you are in the process, so you don't get fucking weeded, chef. He wanted you to use it as a time constraint. He wanted you to use it to push yourself. If you've ever watched an episode of Chopped on TV, they have like 15 minutes to make a dish, so they're running around like crazy, but they're also always looking up at the clock to make sure they're on track. Whether you're on like game show or you're just cranking out orders on like a terribly nightmarish Valentine's Day dinner, speed is everything in the kitchen. Also, don't be a fucking shoemaker, okay? But speed is also important. Then, as I got a little bit older, I realized that I could start to apply this to other areas of my life as well. If you're watching the clock, you tend to get weeded less, whether it's in the kitchen or in your daily to-do list. Now, breakthrough number two, tip number two, realization, whatever you want to call it. A few years ago, I read a book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. It is a phenomenal book. I highly recommend reading it. There's so much to learn, but the one basic thing that I want to talk about today is setting unrealistic timelines. First of all, if you don't have a goal, it ain't gonna happen. Secondly, if there's one thing that we're good at, it's procrastination. Remember back in the day when we had to complete like an end of the year project in school, and even though our teacher assigned it on day one of the class, when did you finish that project? Exactly. Too many people, including myself before I read that book, tend to underestimate like how much we can actually get done in a day-to-day basis. There's something called Parkinson's law, and it applies to many different things, but it fits right into this example. If you have 2 hours to pack for like a vacation and head to the airport, you and your dumbass brain are gonna find a million different things to distract you and fill up that 2 hours of time exactly, down to the fucking minute. Conversely, if you oversleep your alarm and now you only have 20 minutes to pack and get out the door, you're still gonna find a way to do it. So instead of saying, I wanna make and save $20,000 in the next 5 years for a house, a down payment, something like that, instead of doing that, ask yourself, how can you save $20,000 in a year? And what that's gonna do is just put your mind and your brain in a completely different place. It's gonna make you think outside of the box, outside of your normal paradigms, and be really resourceful and creative with your time. You know, you'll really like put your brain to work and figure out like, what do I need to do? How much do I need to work? Do I need to pick up another side job? All that bullshit I have in my garage, can I sell that for extra dough? What is my actual plan in order to get this if I only had a year to do it? And here's the thing, if you don't reach your goal, it's completely fine, okay? The idea is that you're trying to push yourself. Your results will still be better than if you would have just expanded out your time and been all lazy with it to try to reach that 5-year goal in the first place. The point isn't always to finish on time. The point is to push yourself to try to get those results faster, and you will. My point is, when you put these two concepts together, the clock is the boss and setting unrealistic timelines, it's an absolute game changer. But not like that bullshit vegan documentary, okay? What I'm saying actually has substantial evidence to back it. So your homework, should you choose to accept it, is from now on, instead of setting realistic goals, think unrealistic goals. Instead of setting realistic timelines, think unrealistic timelines. So in regards to the kitchen, I just put up a how to dice an onion video. Here, practice this and time yourself the first time. Be careful, watch my knife safety video, okay? But push yourself. If it takes 5 minutes to cut one onion, that's okay. The next time, try to cut it in half and then try to get it down to 2 minutes to 1 minute. Do the same thing in your everyday life. Like I said, maybe start with a book. Keep it really simple. Or weight loss. If you have a goal to lose, 30 pounds in a year, see if you can do that in 6 months. It's gonna be really hard. You might not reach it, but even if you get to 20, 25 pounds in that 6 months, killing it. I do this daily with washing the dishes, with folding the laundry, all the bullshit that I absolutely despise doing it, but I gotta do it. I race a clock. I set a timer. If you have a kitchen timer, that's great. Use your phone, that's also great. But set a timer and race it. This should be fun. Don't be stressed out. That ruins the entire purpose of what we're doing. Don't be a nightmare. Just have fun. Life is so much better when you treat everything like a massive game, okay? A fun challenge. So let me know how this goes in short term or in long term. Let me know what kind of goals you're setting, deadlines, timelines, dream lines you're setting. If you start to see successes, please share them with me. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below. You're really gonna be happy when you do this because you're cutting down the time that you're doing stuff. You're freeing up all this time that you could be doing all the things that you actually love. So thanks for watching. If you got some value out of this, if you think this is powerful information, please share it. Share a link, send it in an email, send it in a text to your mom or your best friend. Be like, yo, you gotta subscribe and hit the bell notification to this dude's channel, all right, player? So do all that, and then I'll see you on Thursday for a new flavor combo of the week. Until then, keep cooking up. Love and peace. Manokis. Chef out.